Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming at you with my powder foundation routine. If you are like me and you're an oily skin diva and during the spring and summer months you want something just a little bit lighter on your skin, you want something that just wears a little bit better, I really do think that powder foundation is the way to go. I've been trying out several different powders and the one I'm going to show you today is the L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation. It's the 16-hour wear one. Mine is in the color Classic Tan. Love this stuff and I love the way it looks worn as just a foundation alone. So I'm going to show you how I got this look and you guys can tell me what your final thoughts are. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and color correct. Remember, with the powder foundation, you want to do all the liquids and the creams first and then go in with the powder. So I'm just taking this corrector pen, which I love. It's the e.l.f. color corrector pen. I do have a review on it. Does not take a lot at all. In fact, that was probably too much. The thing I've learned about this color corrector is that you really see the magic happen when you can let this sit for a bit before blending it in. So that's all I'm going to color correct. And I'm going to, alright, and so now what I'm doing is going in and blending that out with the e.l.f. Color correcting concealer brush. I sometimes go between using my fingers and a brush like this. What I really like about my fingers is that it warms it up, but what I really like about this brush in particular is it's actually more plasticky than say your normal brush. There you go. Alright, so now again, I like to let this set. I like to let as much as possible the different layers set before I go in with something on top of them. Of course, this is kind of hard for me in the morning because I don't give myself much time. I get up, I meditate, and I work out, and so I have a small amount of time in the morning, but I do try to let each layer set as long as I can before I go in with something else. So the next thing I'm going to do is conceal. You guys know I have dry under eyes, so I need a serum concealer that actually provides hydration, and I do like a skin tone. So I'm going in with this one and I'm just going to dot. Because another thing I've learned, I don't need that much concealer. And I've been going in with way too much. So I've really brought down how much concealer I use. And I really like the finished look. Again, here's another one. Let this thing sit if you can. Go ahead and do something else. Maybe iron your clothes or pack your lunch, whatever you can do. But try and let this sit as long as you can before you go in and blend it out. Okay, and now I'm going to blend this out with a fluffier brush. Okay, and so now that I have all my creams on, I still want to go in and set this concealer. Now, I know you're thinking if you're going in with a powder, shouldn't that set it itself? I thought the same thing, but I have honestly noticed that it just does so much better. The overall look looks so much better when I set that concealer with the Undereye Setting Powder and then go in with my powder. So I'm going to go ahead and set that with my Ride or Die all day, every day, my e.l.f. HD Undereye Setting Powder, and a fluffy brush. Seriously, like this is what I'm doing. Like this is what I do every day. Love, love, love it. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is go in with my powder. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte. Mine is in the color Classic Tan. Love this product. I'm going to go in with a flat, dense brush. See, this brush is very flat. It gives a little bit, but it's still very dense. Perfect, because I feel like it really helps me pick up and apply a good amount of powder, but it's still in a nice finish. And so the very first layer I do is I'm stippling it on. I'm just patting it all over. So I just think first layer all over, all I'm doing is stippling that powder on. Just pat, 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 pat all over. And this is just my first layer. I'm just trying to hit everywhere right now. I'm just trying to give everywhere a nice little wash. I'll come back later and add where I need a little bit more tension. But this first layer is just a nice bit of color everywhere. And constantly in these patting motions, because I feel like the patting really just helps you get the best application. Oh, got a little pimple up there. Nice. I might just drag it down just a little bit on my neck, but other than that, I'm patting everywhere. And I apologize, I should have showed you guys one half of it with some on and without it. That would have given you the best impression, but I can still see a difference. I know you probably think you can still see a lot of my skin showing through, which is fine. To me, that's, just remember, for my in my case, I'm not looking for a very heavy coverage. Remember, the point of this is to have a nice coverage that is nice, light, and breathable for the summertime. So I can tell a difference as far as the evening of my skin tone, and I do feel like I got a very nice light dusting of coverage. I do see, I feel like I need a little bit more here in my cheek area and maybe a little bit more on my forehead. So for the second layer where it's just into certain areas, I still take that brush, and instead of putting it on this top, on the flat part, I'm actually just applying it on the side here. So I'm just kind of swirling the side of my brush in the powder, because what I'm going to do now is roll it on those areas. And what I found this rolling does is it applies a little bit more product without removing that first layer, and it just does a very nice job of building up the powder. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, applying the powder on the kind of like the side of the brush and just rolling it on it. And as you can see how now my cheeks are a little bit more covered. I still have a little bit of my skin showing through. Actually, I still have a lot of skin showing through, which is okay, is the point for me. But I do feel like I'm getting that little bit more coverage in the areas I need it without taking away that first level. All right, that looks so good. I hope you guys can see how good that looks. My skin looks even, it looks a little bit more polished, but it still looks breathable. I can see a couple imperfections, but to me, I still look more polished and put together than I did at first. So I absolutely love this. And again, you could definitely go in and add more powder if you felt the need to. I think it looks great here. And you also have to remember, when you start going in with your other pieces of makeup, like your bronzer, your blush, and everything else like that, you are definitely going to get more coverage. So don't feel like you have to build it right here. Kind of stop before you think you need to stop, because I guarantee you at the end, you're going to like the finished look. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I did go in and put the rest of my makeup on, and I did go ahead and hit this with the setting spray. I use a setting spray every single day, whether it's liquid, cream, powder, I don't care. I'm using a setting spray. I feel like a setting spray is just the top. It should be the last step in everybody's makeup routine. I did say that. I try not to say it should be, but I feel like a good setting spray just does so much for your makeup. It melds everything into the skin, gets rid of any type of powdery look. It blends everything together, and if it's good, it really does extend the wear of your foundation. And especially with the powder foundation, whenever, you know, it can look a little powdery in the end, a setting spray definitely seals the deal, and just to me makes everything look together. It just looks absolutely great. So this is the finished look. A couple of key points: definitely make sure that you're taking care of your skin underneath it. Skincare is always important, but especially with the powder foundation routine, your skin is going to show through a little bit more, so you want to make sure that that skin that's showing through is on its best behavior. So definitely moisturize, tone, all that kind of good stuff. I definitely do go in with a primer. The oil control misting spray, y'all know from e.l.f. is my absolute favorite, but sometimes I do go in with a pore minimizing primer as well if that's something that I want to kind of take care of that day. And you know, I definitely make sure you put your creams on first, and then you want to go in with your powder. And I just think the overall look is just absolutely beautiful. What I love about this powder in particular is, one, it's a multitasker. During the winter time or in the fall months, I actually use this to set my liquid foundation, and so then in the summertime I can use it all on its own, so I can use it throughout the year. It's multitasking. Absolutely love it. It's really easy to apply, as you guys saw. One layer just does a nice job, and then go back in where you feel you need a little bit more coverage. It doesn't take that much time, and I kind of feel like it's foolproof too, and it's really easy for anyone, really. I think beginner, novice, whatever, I think it's really easy to do. It's very lightweight on the skin. Like I said, you do have a breathable finish going on here. Like, you still see my skin. It feels light, it feels airy. I don't feel like I have on a whole face of mace. I don't feel like I have on a whole mask of makeup. It's very light, it's very breathable. And I think it has a great wear time. I've been wearing this to work, and honestly, I've been doing fantastic. Again, make sure you do your pre-steps and your after steps, but if you do everything you need, primer, set and spray, all that kind of good stuff, I do think this wears beautifully. I can get to normally about the 2:30, 3 o'clock mark before I may have to blot, and that's not every day, but I normally can get to that spot before the oils are really starting to show through and really starting to peek their heads out. So I do think the wear time on this is very nice, because after a blot, I can keep it moving, no problem whatsoever. And I think the natural look of the powder foundation is a plus as well. You know, when it comes to the spring and summertime, most of us, we want to go for a light, more casual, like I just woke up like this kind of look. And so I think with a powder foundation, you really get that light, airy feel. Not saying that there's not any foundations out there that will give you the same thing, especially if you could reach towards a tinted moisturizer or a CC or BB cream. I think you'll definitely get that lighter coverage as well, but I really do like using this powder foundation, and I love having this in my arsenal. It's just something else to change it up with, another different go-to, not having to reach for the same thing every time. And like I said, it's easy and it's simple, and I feel like anybody can do it. So I really hope you like this video. If you have a powder foundation routine, if there's a powder you use that you absolutely love, especially if you are an oily skin girl like myself, definitely comment down below, because it takes a village. I'm learning, you're learning, let's learn together. And I hope this information helps someone else out there, and if it did, please give this video a thumbs up. And while you're here on my channel, please take a look around, see what else your girl has to offer, and if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.